And I guess a tripod.
Hey, everybody. Hello. Sorry for the delay. Ooh,
What's up?
My audio is
What's up, guys?
very... it's something funny happens here. I think it is time for me to retire this mic. I think I need to go to a
mic store?
Hey, I think I need to go to the microphone store.
I gotta go to the microphone store.
My tan's fading, man. My tan's gone. All right. I'm in a wonderful mood today. All right?
Good.
And I hope none of you people ruin it for me.
Oh, boy. That means you, MG Geek.
I already scolded. Did you see the chat room?
No.
I'm yelling at him on how to produce a show.
Oh, boy. What the hell is this? What the hell am I doing here?
I'm just yelling at everyone. I said, I'm used to working with, a bunch of amateurs here or what? Because I'm asking for the copy. I need a copy for the membership stuff for YouTube, right? Because we have the RVD copy. And I'm like, I go, bunch of amateurs here or what? I'm used to working with high caliber broadcast professionals like Spencer Coburn and Paul Thurrott and Deacon. All right. Guys, put it out there that we're live. And we're going to get started here. More chest hair. Hold on. There we go.
More chest hair. It's growing in nicely.
Look at this. I can still shake them though.
Were you hot in Vegas with that outfit on?
No.
Really?
No, temperate. My reggae's like
Temperate.
like 5 billion. I was very temperate.
It was a nice dry heat. What's up, dudes?
All right, and I also all of a sudden you become you get a little bit of success. Everybody wants a shout out. Everybody wants a copy now read for them.
What are you getting?
Including companies that I'm associated with, like Catalyst Wrestling. How dare they expect me as their head of marketing to do a live read? No, we're running a show September 17th in Jersey City. Catalyst Wrestling returns, and I think I might be at that show.
Oh, nice.
Want to go?
Where is it? Jersey City?
Yeah,
maybe.
17th.
Let me know. On the September 17th?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that a Friday?
Friday? Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Homicide versus KTB versus Steve Gipke for the Sapphire title.
You mean my title?
Your title.
My title.
Your title.
Do I have to bring the title?
Okay.
All right. Ooh, PMX Bachelor 3,199.
Yeah.
What's your current street cred level? Oh, 1 million.
Oh yeah, dude, we got mad street cred after Vegas.
Dude, we porked our way through Vegas. Just rolling dice and getting lice. Somebody in the chat room asks, "Hey Andrew, I'm headed to the Sapphire Pool in 2 weeks. Any hot tips?"
Oh yeah.
Do a cabana.
Yeah, definitely do a cabana if you want to spend some money.
Yeah.
Dude, it's an awesome time, man. It's really everybody's chill. Everybody's a lot of fun. When you book with them, tell them that you heard it from me. Maybe they'll give you a little extra.
I heard it from you. If you got the scratch, do the cabana because the cabanas have built-in. Yeah, those cabanas are nuts, man. They shouldn't even be called cabanas. They should be called trailers. There's a couch, a ceiling fan, a refrigerator, and a TV, and plugs for your devices too.
By the way, Derek, I did not bring this blue shirt with me to Vegas. I just want to let you know, and I was very upset with myself that I forgot it.
You actually, Andrew, wore that on the flight the whole trip and then back for the last 4 days.
Lloyd, welcome in. Welcome to the Matman family, Lloyd.
What's up, guys?
All right. We're ready?
Yeah, we didn't go, just to address free agent Danish. You guys didn't go live last week. We couldn't go live.
Oh.
And if you join our Patreon, you will see why.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about it today.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it on the show. Okay. We are live.
All of our faces dropped.
This is a few times that Andrew, due to his experience, was absolutely correct on not being able to go live. Everybody looked at me like I'm crazy when I was like, I'm telling you guys, we're not going to be able to do this live.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. You ready? I'm ready. You ready, Rich?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Christy, what up? Hello. 199. Hello, gentleman. She's just talking to me. I'm a gentleman.
Kirsty Wilson. Hello, gentlemen.
gentleman.
Slap, slap, slap. That's what that means, right?
Slap, slap, slap. Hold on, why are you so big, Rich?
I'm 6'2". I have a healthy diet. Trying to put on some mass here. Jonathan, if you're listening, I sent out your little tripod thing in the mail yesterday, by the way.
Oh, you had his tripod?
Yeah, no, his the camera attachment.
Oh. I owe him money for all the shit that he bought. All the HDMI cables.
No, he owes you money.
Oh yeah, is that
for being there. I was like driving to the comic store. He gave me $20. No problem. And I was like, "Where this cabbie hat?
Where this cabbie at?
Where this cabbie hat? I'm gonna sit in the back seat." No problem.
Isn't that your nickname, the human tripod?
It's
Okay. You ready?
the human guy pod.
All right, let's begin in 3, 2,
And 1.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarian. With me, as always, my forever cabana boy and my travel partner, Rich Stambolian.
Yes. Hi. Hello, everybody. It was a lot of fun this weekend in Las Vegas.
Oh my God, it was a lot of fun in Vegas.
It was back. It was a nightmare, but it was fun.
You know what? A lot of moments were a nightmare. That trip was a nightmare. We were back, obviously, from Vegas. I got to tell you guys, for those who were there, holy moly, this was a really awesome time. Humbling, I got to say.
Was it humbling?
It was very humbling.
Okay.
Actually, no, it fed my ego even more.
I feel like I
I
agree with that. I agree with that. You had a lot of Andrew people stopping you on the street.
I did.
And like a lot of people at SummerSlam, like, Andrew Zarian, what's going on?
Dude,
and,
it was... been doing this for like 14 years, right? 2008 was my first podcast. So 13 years I've been podcasting. What the Tech probably, I mean, we're on hiatus right now, but probably has been my most successfully long-term, watch program of like hundreds of thousands of people per week. I've never been mobbed like that. Ever, ever, ever. It's really awesome to see that the show has grown into something really special here. I think we have this tremendously very friendly community of wrestling fans,
absolutely,
which is really cool to see. We're going to talk about the trip obviously today and a whole lot of other stuff. We have a ton of news out of Vegas, obviously out of SummerSlam and out of all everything leading up to All Out and Rampage and obviously Dynamite last night. I don't even know where to begin. Do you want to begin with SummerSlam stuff, like what it was for us?
Yeah.
Actually, before we continue,
Yes,
I want to talk about the pool. Big shout out to Rob Van Dam and Katie Forbes. Menches.
Oh my God, such sweet people.
Such sweet people. We did an interview with Rob Van Dam and Katie Forbes that we were going to air live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Now, I had a feeling that we would not be able to air this live, not for technical reasons.
No, yeah.
Just YouTube censors, I guess.
They got something against women in string bikinis who are twerking.
I personally don't feel like this is appropriate to censor something like that.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
YouTube does not find thong, like literally just a G-string as a bathing suit appropriate.
She was basically naked.
Which was, listen, man.
That's fine. It's great. Yeah.
Fine. It was great. We had a tremendous time. We did this interview with Rob Van Dam. We're putting it behind Patreon. It'll be up there probably tonight.
Yeah.
The biggest problem was I had to find a host for it.
Okay.
And I found a host. We'll have it up. I also want to give a big shout out. Rob Van Dam, by the way, we're going to have Rob back on the show.
Absolutely.
Probably in about a week or so or 2 weeks. To talk about his CBD company, rvdcbd.com, and they hooked us up with a promo code, MattMen20, and you receive 20% off. Now, this is not a live read, right? I told him I'd give him a little shout out, and I want to talk to him about this because I don't have a lot of experience with CBD. I took one yesterday. Deacon, our intern, bought one.
Yeah, they're good.
I have to tell you, the one that he bought, it made me a little loopy.
Very relaxing.
I was very relaxed. So if you want to check out CBD, rvdcbd.com, promo code MattMen20, get 20% off. I'm like, let's talk about it. I want to do this. I had the time of my life in Vegas. I want to thank everybody that came to the pool. There was a ton of you guys that came out. Missoula hooked us up with cigars that created this kennel cough that I had to fight the entire trip.
I think that's what made you die a little bit.
It did make me die.
Because the next day you were like, I think I got it. And I'm not gonna say the word. You were like, I'm coughing. I think I got it.
I'm vaccinated.
I gotta get tested. I don't know what's wrong.
I did. I've gotten tested 3 times.
I got my negative test the other day too.
Yeah.
And I was like, you smoked a bunch of cigars yesterday in a cabana where a lot of people were smoking cigars. And you were like, oh my God, that's right. And it made you feel a little better. You were like, oh yeah, I'm not dying. I just smoked cigars on a 97-degree day.
So everybody's saying that there's a bleed over.
Just a little bit, like right here.
It's not though.
No?
Look. Oh, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, just a little.
Right,
it's like 2 pixels.
Okay, I'll fix it.
It's a 2-pixel bleed. But it was fun. It was a good time. If you were anywhere in the vicinity of us, it was good. We created a little bit of happy chaos. Also, Andrew told every single person on Earth that their flights are going to be canceled.
And they were. And they were. I was right.
It was like Oprah. You were like the Oprah of telling people their flights were canceled.
Your flight's canceled.
Your flight's canceled. Your flight's canceled. You're done. You're stuck here. You have to get a job. He was telling people you got to get a job in Vegas now because you're stuck here and you're homeless because your flight is canceled. You're done. You'll never work in this town. And then he was doing all that. Like, you'll never work in this town shit again.
You'll never work in this town ever again. It was a lot of fun, guys. Listen, big shout out Jessica Drake.
Yes.
Adult film star Jessica Drake came over and was like, Andrew?
Yeah, we met a lot of people.
I was like, hey, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Snuck them into the Twitch lounge.
Oh, really?
That WWE hooked us up with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I snuck a lot of people into that lounge. No, it was a lot of fun, and obviously we have so much. We're going to be talking about it for weeks on end. And by the way, we're in Chicago in next week. Next Friday, we'll be flying to Chicago for All Out. We're going to be part of the whole F4W Wrestling Observer Q&A panel. We're going to do a live podcast from there. Live Matman is going to happen from there. Also, a live We're Live Pal is going to happen, I believe, with Dave and Bryan.
Ooh, could I pop in on that one?
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're going to have Dave and Bryan on that show. So we have a lot going on, guys. Very exciting stuff here on the show. But, of course, let's talk about professional wrestling.
Yes, sir.
And what a week it was.
Yes, sir.
You want to start with Friday? You want to start with SummerSlam?
You know what? I think the Punk stuff is we're going to spend a lot of time on that. So let's run through SummerSlam weekend.
Okay.
And do you want to do the news real quick before that?
Let's go through SummerSlam.
Okay, let's do SummerSlam.
Yeah, we're going to skip through here.
So we're gonna come back to Friday because Friday bleeds into Wednesday. Also, patreon.com/Mattman podcast to catch that full RVD interview, which is pretty awesome, I gotta say, and very distracting. Yeah. SummerSlam, the biggest building I've ever been in my life.
You know what? You've never been in MetLife? MetLife
I've
is
been
bigger.
Is it?
Yeah.
I feel like this is the biggest building I've ever been in. I have been in MetLife.
I think MetLife is a little bigger, but not as cool.
This is a nice stadium.
Yeah. Denise, by the way, had the total opposite experience that we did.
In what
So
way?
we were talking about on We're Live Pal, which, by the way, is exclusive on F4Wonline.com. We were talking about like our experiences, and Garrett's like, "What was this stadium like?" Because you know he's a West Coast guy. He's fascinated by this whole deal. I was like, dude, it was remarkable. I'm talking about how Curtis, I thank WWE for those awesome tickets that they gave us. We're in the Twitch lounge. We had bars, we had food, we had celebrities around us. We had these awesome seats. Denise was given like a bologna sandwich. There was like no lights in the bathroom when she tried to use the bathroom.
Oh no.
The TVs didn't work. She had the worst experience in any stadium that you could possibly have.
No.
While we had like state of the art. We had a robot serving us.
Oh my god, it was great. Bunch of robot hand jobs happened. No, it was awesome. It was the biggest building I've ever been in. Very family friendly atmosphere. Like super family friendly. Listen, WWE is not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
Anytime soon. People are like, this is it. This is the death knell. After being there, if I had 2 8-year-old kids, I would take them to a WWE show in a heartbeat.
I was sad
that your kids weren't there.
That my kids weren't there.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that this is the first time that my kids are young.
Yeah.
They're one's gonna be 6, one's gonna be 5, but they're old enough to like enjoy things at this point. Like they've just hit that point. I felt sad for myself then my kids won't enjoy it. And when I showed them like the videos and stuff, they're like, "Oh my god, I want to go." Like, I want to go. So, like, now I'm going to take them to, like, a house show when they do the December house show with the Garden. I'll take them to that. But I'm going to say something. And this was a realization point.
Okay.
And I think this should be the same for many of us, right? WWE has transcended beyond pro wrestling.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The word sports entertainment was just a word until now. This was extremely evident from
100%.
The last mega show like this that I was at, like a WWE major stadium show, was probably 2017 SummerSlam.
Okay.
Like in a big, like, SummerSlam level, Big 4, Big 5 pay-per-view, right?
That was at Barclays, right?
At Barclays.
Yeah.
That felt like a really cool pro wrestling show.
Yes.
Right?
That was a cool pro wrestling weekend, too.
It was a great pro wrestling weekend.
Yeah.
This was not a pro wrestling event.
No.
This was, guys, I feel like I've seen it. Like, I've now awakened to this thing, and I could separate. Like, in my mind, I'm able to separate, like, oh, this is why WWE does this, and this is why AEW does this.
Absolutely.
WWE's not putting on a pro wrestling show.
No.
Okay? That's gone. You could tell by their entire direction of the company that this is not a professional wrestling company. This is a sports entertainment company. And you know what? When you walk into that building and you see there's 50,000 people there, and there's a DJ, and there's a musical performance, and there's celebrity guests, and they're doing these moments, interactive moments in between things. This is Broadway.
It's a circus.
This is Broadway, the circus. Yeah. This is a variety show. I've been saying this for weeks, but it is so evident that these guys are beyond pro wrestling at this point, and this is an entertainment product.
100%. And, you know, it's funny, too, because the show, just the production value that goes into it, seeing it live is so seamless. You know, there was, like, close to no hiccups happening. And I gotta say, like, one of my takeaways from it was I can see why the company loves The Miz so much.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
he's exactly what you've said about him all these years. He's
a carnival barker. He's big. Live, he's very big and animated, which I think, you know, he's playing to the nosebleeds, you know? And it was very surreal just seeing that. And you know what? You're right. It's not a pro wrestling show.
It is not. I did not feel like I was at a professional wrestling show. Listen, I've been a wrestling fan. My first live event was probably 1991 at the Garden. Okay, you don't get more pro wrestling than being at the Garden.
Yeah,
I've seen the change. At 37 years old now, I now can recognize the difference. Where, listen, if WWE does not do it for you anymore, it's not because they're not doing. They're not doing the wrestling that you want to see. They're not doing wrestling anymore.
Right.
They have now transcended into everything that Vince McMahon has wanted for 30 some odd years.
100%.
And that's to become something in the middle.
And also, you know, what's also fascinating about this, again, just doing the experience at Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah.
I think we both agreed that, like, listen, they don't need anybody. They don't need a John Cena. They don't need a Roman Reigns. They can create cool moments, but it's almost like an explanation of these major firings that have happened, where it's like the company doesn't need anybody.
Yeah.
It will continue to be a circus, and it will continue to sell out arenas.
Do you want a prediction?
You know? Shoot.
I'm going to give you a prediction. This has nothing to do with anything that anybody's ever said to me. This is all in my mind, okay? I expect WWE to do a residency in Vegas within the next 10 years, 5 to 10 years, to have a residency in one of the hotels, like an MGM, where every, you know, night or whatever they do, they're putting on a wrestling show, and every couple days somebody different's there.
I agree.
They'll have a different headliner, like Sheamus will headline one week, and you know, maybe you'll have a Roman Reigns that'll headline the first week, or John Cena.
Yeah,
this is, and you know what? They'll probably sell 20,000 people a freaking show.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This company has evolved, and it is evolving into something very different than what we talk about when we talk about professional wrestling.
Right.
And it was very evident at that show.
Yeah.
It was extremely evident. And it's not a knock, right? I'm not knocking it because they put on a tremendous... Listen, I watched it on pay-per-view after the fact So my reaction is a little different because I got to experience it in the building. So I don't know how you guys felt watching it live.
Yeah.
But I do have to tell you, being in that building, people were loving it.
Yeah.
Everything. They were loving everything.
Lovely, lively crowd, friendly crowd too. You know, it was all the kids dressed like John Cena. I always find very adorable.
It was awesome. No, man, listen, it was great. It was great. And if you're looking for wrestling, you know, your version of wrestling, you're not going to get it a lot at WWE anymore. You saw the Raw was a totally different type of Raw.
Yeah.
You know, they're quick matches, right? Everything is quick now.
Everything's very quick. Yeah.
So listen, they've evolved. They have an idea. They're going in a direction. They're making more money than ever. It was the most watched SummerSlam of all time. It was the highest grossing SummerSlam of all time.
Bananas.
It got the most press out of any SummerSlam ever. So, I mean, when you look at all those indicators, they're extremely happy.
I mean, it's a good thing.
It is a good thing. It's a positive thing.
It's a positive thing. Let's go into the matches.
Let's go.
Very quick, like you said. Big E beat Baron Corbin in 6 minutes. Fun match, good opener.
Yeah, fun match, good opener.
Riddle and Randy Orton beat AJ Styles and Omos to win the Raw Tag Team
Randy
Championship.
Orton's so freaking over.
That guy's so
in
big,
that
too.
like he's tremendous, but he's so over.
Yeah. 7 minutes. Alexa Bliss beat Eva Marie with Dewdrop. That ending was fun, where Dewdrop turned on Eva Marie. 3 minutes 49 seconds.
Yeah, terrible.
Damian Priest beat Sheamus to win the United States Championship.
Very good match.
That was a fun match. You know what my other takeaway is?
Yeah.
You don't when you're watching at home, you don't realize how long these entrances are.
They're very long,
Very
right?
long. I kept leaning to you like, yo, this is a long, like Charlotte's, Damian Priest, Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, these are long entrances, dude.
So, yeah, I thought it was, and also the freaking ramp was huge. Like to get, like it was like curved.
Yeah.
I didn't care for that setup, by the way.
The football style setup.
I felt a little slighted.
Okay.
I felt like I'm in an arena and I'm not going to see an arena entrance. You know what? Like a stadium entrance.
So we got Usos beating Dominic and Ray to retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. I completely missed this.
Usos. Oh yeah, is this when?
This is when I left. I was like, I'm gonna get us a couple of beers. I'm gonna get us some food. I'll be right back.
You never came back.
I never came back because the Allegiant Stadium touts itself as like this premier cashless venue. Well, guess what? All the computers went down in the middle of SummerSlam.
Was this before or after I took like half of Issa's edibles?
This was during.
During?
Those are great, by the way.
Those are fantastic. Yeah.
So like I always carry cash on me. I was like, why can't I buy anything right now? I just want a Bavarian pretzel. I want to buy Andrew a pretzel right now. Nothing. So I came back like 45 minutes later to catch the Rick Boogs Nakamura thing, which was awesome. And I was wondering if that was live.
It did go live. Yeah.
It did go live.
Yeah.
Okay. Up next, you had Bianca Belair set to wrestle Carmella.
All right. So here's where it gets sticky.
Gets nuts.
Yeah. So I have some news on this.
Okay.
Go into it.
So Bianca Belair comes out. Carmella comes out. And it looks like they're going to have a match. Carmella's getting booed out of the building.
Big time.
And then what happens?
So it was interesting because they played into Sasha Banks being there up until like that moment, right? So they played a video package. Then they announced that Sasha can't be there. So Carmella comes out, gets booed, and here comes Becky Lynch to one of the biggest pops I've ever heard in my life. Like being in any building, I was at the Triple H return in 2002. I mean, it's the Garden, it's a smaller building, but this was as oh my God, what a surprise return as that would have been.
Yeah.
People lost their minds for Becky Lynch. So Becky Lynch comes in, beats up Carmella, and says, hey, let's tear the roof off this place. And proceeds to beat Bianca Belair with a rock bottom, which was interesting, right? What do they call it now? Her version of the rock bottom?
Oh, I forgot.
Forgot the name. They called it something. Hit her with a rock bottom, 1, 2, 3 pin, world champ, SmackDown Women's Champion. The crowd was into it, but everybody's like, ooh,
like, huh?
Why?
Yeah.
Why did they do this?
Yeah.
So the reason for that is that they're turning her heel. So it kind of makes a little bit more sense, but the story should be, or hopefully will be, is that, listen, Bianca, this was her third freaking opponent.
Right.
You know, in any fighting scenario, you prepare, you study tapes, you study your opponent's moveset.
Mhm.
So fine, she was studying for Sasha. Carmella's now the replacement. So she has to, like, in her mind, refocus, like, okay, what have I done with Carmella that's worked in the past?
Right.
Right, I'm doing kayfabe here,
Storyline
wise. And then here comes Bianca, here comes Becky, you know, top level, and she has to now readjust for the third time. She was caught off guard.
Right.
You know, she didn't lose. She was caught off guard. And interesting. Let's see if this heel turn works.
Yeah. I agree with that. Also, I want to reiterate, that was probably one of the loudest things I've ever heard in my life.
Big time.
It was a fun moment. I think the crowd really got caught up in her returning and winning. But then there was, like you said, that like aftershock of like
Manhandle slam.
There was that aftershock of like, oh, that's weird. Sucks for Bianca.
Sucks for Bianca. So there was a lot of criticism. One being Nikki Bella on the red carpet said, like, pretty much that this sucked. This is ridiculous. She was not a fan. A lot of people weren't a fan of it. But listen, if it's part of the story and they're trying to figure it out, like, let it play out. You know, let the whole thing play out a little bit. I get it. Would I have booked it that way? No, but there's a reason why they did things the way that they did it, you know?
25-second match.
Now, I was told this was not going to be the ending, obviously.
Right.
It was something different, where she was going to show up on this card. Becky Lynch was always going to come out for this live crowd. So that was not something that was last minute, but the title change was the difference. That was something new. That was not planned.
Yeah.
They would not have built this Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair match as long as they did if this was going to be the ending. So that was an adjustment. They made it, and we'll see where it goes on Friday. There's a little bit of issues with NBC, with the USA guys, and the fact that this SmackDown roster is really stacked now.
Strong.
Which we'll go into also when we talk about Brock Lesnar.
Absolutely. Very strong roster. Drew McIntyre beat Jinder Mahal. 4 minutes. 4 minutes, 33 seconds.
Another cartoon has a freaking sword, right? And we'll talk about how everything is marketable now.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Triple threat. Charlotte beat Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley to win the Raw Women's Championship. 13 minutes. Quick match. The crowd did not like Nikki at all.
They did not like Nikki whatsoever.
Booed.
Booed from beginning to end.
Fascinating, right? You would think that she would get like super cheered, right?
Nothing.
Rhea Ripley, great ovation.
But that's been the report at house shows, right? She's getting booed at house shows.
Edge beat Seth Rollins 21 minutes. Great match. I lost my effing mind when Edge came out to the Brood theme and did Through the Fire and all that stuff.
Yeah. That was cool.
And I also chuckled to myself very heartily that Seth Rollins was he's trying to kill time, just like walking around.
Oh, yeah,
because they were setting up.
But did you see he smiled? Like he got a kick out of the Brood entrance.
Oh, yeah.
There's a moment that the camera's still on him. I don't think he realized it. He's just looking. He's like, "Fuck, this is cool."
Yeah, you could tell he was looking at that ramp.
Yeah,
because they had to while Seth was doing his thing, and on the broadcast. Did you watch it back on TV?
I did. It looked excellent.
Yeah. So on the broadcast, you see it's like close-ups to Seth, and then he's looking in the direction of where they wheeled Edge's tower in, which I'm assuming Edge was inside it.
Yeah.
And then, he had his own ramp. Really cool moment. I think I watched Edge's entrance like 3 times when I got home. It was fantastic.
Joe Pearl peed his pants a little.
Great match.
He had a little chub,
but
he was a little chub too throughout the entire Edge entrance.
That's because you stapled him to the chair and were just punching him in the
in
the bladder the whole time.
The whole time.
Big shout out to Joe Pearl.
Big shout out to Joe
Guy
Pearl.
took a beating like a champ.
Yeah. Excellent dude, man. What a good guy.
Good guy. Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman beat John Cena to retain the Universal Championship 22 minutes. Roman's entrance is friggin' long, dude.
It is. His entrance
obnoxious.
Is so good. He's so good.
Yeah.
That's one thing that translates so well from TV to in person is his freaking entrance. That man is what a perfect example of a pro wrestler in WWE.
Oh yeah.
He is everything that company wants in a star.
Big. And what's funny about Roman too is so many people were there to see the guy. There were a bunch of people a couple of rows ahead of us that were overcome with insane joy. Roman won, Yeah.
Yeah.
People going nuts, man. It was fun. It was fun. So he beat Cena. Cena's laid out. Cena couldn't get the job done. Cena looked great, by the way.
He was a little stiffer than usual, but he loosened up, midway through that match.
So big, like big main event style.
Yeah.
You can see those punches from like the moon. Brock Lesnar shows up. You hear that growl, and I don't think anybody expected it.
No, building popped.
Yeah,
building really popped, and it was a nice surprise at the end. I was sworn to secrecy about that ending. So I knew Becky was going to be there, but I was sworn that day because somebody sent me a message saying like, "Oh, Brock's here." By the way, I was like, "Okay, cool,
yeah,
all right, awesome." I did not expect him to look like a Viking.
Oh, that dude looked awesome, gnarly. So he shows up. He has the stare down with Roman, which is like a kind of a cool moment. I really thought they were going to play into more of the Paul Heyman stuff.
Yeah.
Where Paul Heyman is like, "Oh, no. I'm like, I'm okay. I'll work for both you guys."
Yeah.
And then as a live treat for the live crowd, Brock comes back and F5s John Cena. It was like the biggest F5 I've ever seen. Dude.
Oh my God, John Cena goes flopping everywhere. Now, that was after the cameras went off. Yeah. So we're leaving the building, and I'm like, "Rich, hang on one second." I recorded it, and I just posted it.
Yeah.
It has like 800,000 views on Twitter.
It's crazy.
Like Sports Center picked it up. It's unbelievable.
Real smart move to record that. Like everybody, we were like halfway out the building when that happened too. It was such a fun moment. I guess. Send the crowd home happy.
Yeah. So listen, I thought it was a fantastic show. I had a great time. We left the venue. It took us about an hour and a half to get back to our hotel because we had to walk.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
I made you walk 2 miles.
Rich tried to walk 2 miles, and I could not believe that strip is scary.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was a little
that Las
gnarly.
Vegas strip was something else. I had to put that freaking mask on.
Yeah.
Not because I was afraid to get that thing that we can't mention on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was afraid to get everything else.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Whatever mutant disease these people had. And by the way, can I just say, I just want to say this. If you have an infant, maybe it's not appropriate to have your kid out at 11:30 at freaking night walking the Las Vegas Strip. Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe let's talk about this. Maybe we shouldn't have our 2-year-olds running unattended down the Las Vegas Strip. All right? I don't know. I don't like to tell people how to parent. Just based on my own parenting, I would never take my kid, my infant, my 1-year-old, my 2-year-old, my newborn, and walk them in the middle of the Las Vegas Strip in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
What time did these kids go to bed?
Yeah, it was a little bizarre, but like you said, like as soon as we hit that crowd, everybody masked up, and we were like, "Oh, this is a little gross." It's because the way the streets in Las Vegas are designed is that the sidewalks are completely on the strip. At least the sidewalks are completely barricaded.
Please,
so guys, you had to like do the upsy daisy shit on the overhead ramps.
You have all day. You have all day to walk the Las Vegas Strip.
Did you regret?
Is 11:45 necessary to walk with your kid?
Did you regret wearing your red bottoms?
I did not. No, but you know what? It's funny because I had people asking me, they're like, "Where are your Louboutins today?" Because I was joking, I'm going to wear my Louboutins. I decided not to wear them because I was like, if we got to walk, I don't want to scuff these things up.
Yeah.
So I did not wear them. I just wore my regular loafers.
Yeah. Did you regret the loafers on the walk?
No, it was like I was wearing,
yeah,
super comfortable, dude. Yeah.
Oh boy. That was fun. And we also got chased by Batman. We got to put that on the Patreon.
Oh, yeah. Batman was following us.
Batman was following us for like a good
and then that guy looking for Joel, that drunk.
Yo, so we get back to the hotel. We're about a block away from the hotel. Long blocks in Vegas. Everything is so massive. The structures there are so massive. This dude comes out of a parking lot, like real floppy. And he's like, "Joel, I've been looking for you."
No, where's Joel?
Where's Joel? I've been looking for you. Also, at this point, we're convinced he's not talking about Joel Pearl.
Well, no. I was convinced. So in the beginning, I was like, okay, maybe he was at the pool. Maybe he follows us on Twitter. Because what are the odds that this drunk guy is like popping out of our hotel and he's like, "Joel."
Yeah.
Like, where's Joel? I'm looking for Joel. And I'm like, I don't think Joel is friends with this guy.
No.
Maybe he is. This guy came out of he awakened like the Undertaker out of the bushes. Like, by the way, in an empty parking lot. Like there was nobody. He was in an abandoned parking lot and he just did one of these. Hold on. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Where's Joel?
But he spotted us from like a good
Well, Batman is following us.
a good half a block away. He was like, "Yup, I'm gonna talk to these guys," and he's flopping towards us.
Oh my god!
And he's like, "What's up, guys?" And then I let you deal with that. Me and Jonathan walked us very much ahead of you. I was like, "Hey, you can deal with this guy." So he follows us into the lobby of the.
He's like, "They kicked me out
of the yeah." And
Why'd you guys kick me out?
He's like, "Do you know why they kicked me out?" No. All right, so yeah, why don't you sleep it off? We're going into like our place. There was like it's a casino on the floor and everything. And he's like, "I can't go into the casino. What did I do? What did I do?" And I'm like, "Don't touch me. I don't know. I don't want to get bit by another bum. That shit happened to me in New Orleans. I got bit by a bum in New Orleans."
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. He had one tooth though. And I'm not kidding. This is
a true story.
This is a true story. I got bit by a bum in New Orleans.
You're the new Blade.
I gave him $1.
That's how you become Blade.
I gave him $1. He went to give me a pound hug, and as his head connected here, I felt one tooth
just enter you.
Didn't pierce skin, but it was enough that I was like, "Get off me!" And he chased us. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding about this. He followed us to 3 different bars until he got distracted by another couple.
You sure it wasn't Virgil?
I'm pretty sure it wasn't Virgil. Virgil has more than one tooth. Yeah, so this dude was just like, "What did I do?" And we scurried into the hotel and went to bed.
Oh my god.
Fun weekend.
You are Blade. You're a vampire hunter now.
I'm the daywalker.
You
finally.
are a daywalker, yeah. So listen, we have so many stories from this. Maybe we'll do another episode in a couple days and we'll talk about all the fun shit that we did. It was awesome to hang out with everybody. Obviously, Vegas is a whole lot of fun. Show from the Sapphire Pool was awesome. We'll talk about that. Rob Van Dam, we'll talk about that in a couple of weeks. But let's get into CM Punk.
Oh, Jesus.
By the way, submit your questions for the chat room.
Yeah.
Save your questions. We're going to be answering a whole bunch of questions at the end.
So Andrew did a very cool thing. He invited everybody up to his hotel room to watch Rampage on Friday night, which was a lot of fun. Again, our building was so massive, it took me 15 minutes to get to your room.
Oh, I know. Well, I upgraded my room.
You were on the other like
I am bougie though.
Very bougie.
I am, and I'm humble about it, but I did have to upgrade to the suite.
I'm not gonna get into it, but we had this giant kerfuffle with our booking, and then Andrew goes, "Give me an upgrade. I don't care how much it costs."
That's literally what I said.
And then the lady was like, "All right, it's gonna be this much." And then she looks at us and she's like, "You're gonna be in the opposite tower of your friend. Is that okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're adults. Who cares? I don't need this guy to be in the room next to me." You know what I mean? Like, what I didn't know is that this hotel is so big that it was legitimately a different tower that I had to walk down to the lobby, walk across like
a bridge
so much to get to your room. I missed the first 2 minutes
now,
of Rampage.
Were there like casino stuff by you? Like there was like restaurants and everything by you?
You didn't even come by my side of the building. Dude, there was everything. Everything you could want
was on your side.
Was on my side as well as your side too, But there was so much stuff to walk through. I had the there was like the pool gateway and all that stuff, which was like music blasting till like 4 a.m. It was awesome. So we need a key card to get to your room too. Yeah,
you need a key card to get into my room. We don't let people up to the 15th floor.
I know. So Jonathan and I were like, "Yo, this is a walk and a half. Like, where are we going?"
Sorry,
it's fine. It's not your fault. And then we ended up watching Rampage with a bunch of people, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then we went out to dinner, and that was very nice.
People are questioning what happened post bite to you. And people are saying that your credit score went down and you were completely broke.
At the I actually turned into a bum at the next full moon.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, like, oh no.
Oh god. So where are we now? What day are we at? Oh, Friday. So
where are we?
So Friday, you and Jonathan came to the room.
Yeah.
I did not expect this show to begin with CM Punk. But I'm glad they did, because that whole building would have had CM Punk chants the entire night. But by the way, no CM Punk chants for any other matches on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Isn't that
nuts, right? Like completely nuts.
Wow, everybody was well behaved here,
So this guy comes out, cuts an amazing promo, really soaks it in.
Really, just big moments.
I think we all got choked up too in the
big moment.
room.
Big moment. Listen, man, regardless of what you think of him, regardless of what you think of AEW, Jim Cornette said that was probably one of the best pro wrestling moments. I'm filling in the blanks, but he was blown away by that moment.
Yeah.
Mega star, done right, huge crowd reaction, 15,000 people there to see him. Big deal.
And like you said, super brilliant guy, where he came out with a hoodie, and then at some point goes, "Let me get comfortable."
Yeah.
Boom, brand new shirt. Didn't it crash the Pro Wrestling Tees website?
It did, and there's a queue now. They've instituted a queue on their website to purchase shirts. Here's the other thing, right? So he cut that promo, and something he did in that promo that I thought was the smartest thing to do, and I don't think a lot of people would have been able to recognize to do this. He essentially apologized.
Right.
And he said, if anybody in the back or anybody watching at home, if my life decisions impacted you negatively or you took that as a negative, he didn't say I'm sorry, but he said, I want you to understand I had to do that.
Yeah.
I was sick. I was losing, like essentially he said, I was losing my goddamn mind being there. And I feel free now. Like I feel, and it was interesting that he brought up the fact that he left wrestling in 2005. He did not go to pro wrestling. He went to WWE.
Right.
Very interesting. The wording, the timing of the wording.
Absolutely.
Is very, I'm just going to put it that way.
Yeah.
What I'm saying right now about WWE has officially transcended into sports entertainment, and what CM Punk is saying, and what some other people, like, you got to listen with the words that some other talents using here, because there's a reason they're using those words, because they also see and have heard the same stuff.
Writing on the wall.
So, historic moment, CM Punk shows up, 1.2 million viewers. Jesus. I think DVR plus 3 is 1.4 million viewers. Yeah. DVR plus 7 will probably add a couple 100,000 more. We'll probably find that out Monday.
Was that Guinness Book of World Records thing fake or real?
What was the Guinness Book of World Records thing?
The record for the biggest decibel level for a live crowd or something like that.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because I saw something trending like that the other day.
I don't know.
That was a loud crowd.
It was a loud crowd, dude, and it's going to be loud again next week in Chicago.
That's going to be insane, dude.
That's going to be huge. Also, we'll get to. But I thought it was a great way to bring him into the company. What was crazy is that the entrance, it was so loud, right? That it dubbed. It was louder than the music. Like it took. You couldn't hear the theme. And he had to pot the music up higher for his entrance. Yeah. I mean, fantastic stuff.
What a song, too. You know, like, do you think he still has the rights, or that it was a Tony Khan thing?
No, Tony Khan thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The other thing, the other interesting thing, like, Tony Khan actually said the other day that his investment already paid off with CM Punk.
Oh, because I'm sure he's seeing the the pay-per-view advances coming in for the pay-per-view buys. You know, it is interesting. You know, the Hogan deal, when Hogan came into WCW, people were freaking out because his contract was so big compared to anybody else, right?
Yeah.
I forgot the number, but Eric Bischoff said that Starrcade with him and Flair, that pay-per-view paid for his entire year's salary.
Wow. Okay.
Like, they were able to make so much money generating that the cost didn't even matter for Hogan because he was able to make it in one show, 1 year's worth. I'm not saying that that's going to be the case for CM Punk, but it's going to be a case for CM Punk where, I don't know, can they do 200,000 buys for this pay-per-view? You know, that's going to be the telling thing here.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be a ratings draw, which we know eyeballs are going to tune in for him weekly on TV. However, pay-per-view is a different thing for $50. Can you get another 150,000 to 200,000 people to order a pay-per-view to see CM Punk return? That's going to be an interesting number to see.
I think this stuff going forward is now fascinating, especially with, we're going to get into it, the contracts supposedly coming up of certain people possibly signed to AEW, and just the shows that they're doing going forward.
Yeah.
You know, like these are going to be like, I want to say that Arthur Ashe show is going to be record setting. You know, I want to say All Out's going to be same here.
Show. Listen, and I feel the same way about WWE. I had goosebumps entering that building.
Oh yeah,
I love wrestling. You know, I love the spectacle of it, and
it's fun.
And don't take my comment that WWE is sports entertainment and not pro wrestling anymore is like I'm beating on them.
Right.
I got to tell you, there is nobody that does a better job than them. As far as putting on a show like this, there's nobody that. I mean, AEW's fantastic, but the attention to detail that WWE has, that's 50 years of doing this.
Exactly.
You know, or 35 years of doing this on this level that teaches you that. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts.
It's also fascinating too, where like, you know, like you get this guy returning to pro wrestling after 7 years, right? Or since 2005, let's say, right? Let's take that into account. And then it just like there's like weird detractors too, which I don't understand at all, you know?
Yeah. There's always going to be that.
There's always going to be those like the haters, but it's like this is such an excellent time to be a wrestling fan across the board.
So apparently Gangrel was supposed to be in AEW this yesterday.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah. So here's a quote from him. I don't know where this quote is from. Someone just sent it to me, but he said, "I was supposed to be on a plane to Milwaukee on Monday. I got a return phone call saying, 'Oh man, we're sorry, we're going in a different direction.' Gangrel on his AEW appearance being scrapped because WWE already did the Brute stuff with Edge." Yeah.
That would have been dope. Imagine if Gangrel came out with Edge and they just went like straight vampire.
I would love that.
So, if you guys also haven't watched that 12-minute YouTube video of the Punk return, I suggest to watch it. It's very fascinating. I love that truck stuff.
That was fantastic, right? You know what? I'd love to see Kevin Dunn doing that.
Very secret.
I would love to see it because that is a. By the way, that guy produced WrestleMania.
Yeah,
he's a WrestleMania director. Directed. I'm sorry. Just that is a nerve-wracking job.
Yeah,
you gotta have it. That is a special ability to see the shots and call it and stand by, take, stand by, hold, take. You know, doing that.
Very, very cool. Very cool.
For how many hours?
Right. with what? 12 cameras?
I don't know how many cameras.
Yeah, 10 or 12 cameras.
They were calling camera 10 a lot, so it could be 10.
10 was the ramp guy, but that stuff was very fascinating. You also, do you want to go into Dynamite? From last night?
You know what? Let's go into news.
Okay.
Let's dump in the news because I know a lot of people are going to want us to cover the news. So
all right, let's see here.
And then we'll go into Dynamite after.
Yeah. Okay. So I think one of the big things to come out this week is the possibility that Adam Cole is leaving WWE.
Yes. So this has become a big story. Adam Cole's contract ran out a while ago, and he was working on an extension past SummerSlam Weekend, right? So the goal was to get him through SummerSlam Weekend, and then he'll be a free agent. His contract, he is officially a free agent on Friday. The contract has not been signed as of yesterday.
Yeah.
So I will say this with people that I spoke to within WWE, okay? For the longest time, the anticipation was that he will re-sign with WWE. Something changed.
Okay.
And now I'm not being told that he's leaving, but I'm also not being told that he's signing with WWE.
Interesting.
So a lot of people have changed. Now, the conversation with Vince McMahon apparently went well. That was a positive conversation at that SmackDown on Friday a couple of weeks ago. So I don't know what changed, but you got to outweigh the pros and cons, right? This guy's a wrestler. He's seeing, and I'm not saying that he's going to AEW whatsoever, but if he does stay with WWE, you're going to know that he has allies there. He's extremely talented. He's been there for 4 freaking years already. It's a difficult decision to uproot yourself when you've become, the king of the castle and where you are.
Right.
Now, he's not going to stay in NXT. He's going to go to the main roster.
Right.
WWE needs fan favorites at this point.
Sure.
Right? So,
For TV.
But, his partner's in another company. That plays a big part. I'd want to travel with my wife. I'd want to travel with my girlfriend.
Right.
I'd want to see them more often. Your buddies are all there. You're seeing the buzz with this company happening right now, and the positive future of the company with a guy like Daniel Bryan potentially debuting in a couple of weeks. You have an opportunity to do something very different and cool for the next 3 years of your career, right? And you're very young still. Adam Cole's what, 31?
Yeah.
Right? Early 30s?
I think
Go for 3 years.
He just turned 30.
I think 30 or 31. He just turned. He's very youthful.
Yeah.
So
32.
32. I would say I would love, if it was me, I would go. But we'll see. We'll find out. Friday, he's a free agent. I mean, technically, Friday night he could show up.
Mm-hmm.
He's a free agent midnight on Friday. He could show up on Dynamite. He could show up at the pay-per-view. He could show up on, he technically he's not allowed to negotiate with anybody, but
right.
His girlfriend's there.
Yeah.
So of course she's gonna talk for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is gonna be a very interesting thing. Rampage is taped. I'm sorry. So next week, he could be there.
Well, here's the thing. Do you think I think from a certain perspective, do you think Adam Cole is stuck between a rock and a hard place right now? Because on one hand, WWE could just sign him to a contract and botch him up completely. Right?
They could.
The AEW thing is interesting because it's like they have so many people that, Punk, possibly Daniel Bryan, possibly Bray Wyatt. Do you think AEW or somebody is going, we don't need you?
I understand. By the way, I totally understand the fans like being a little apprehensive of WWE guys going over, right?
Yeah.
But here's the reality. It's a very small business. Mm. Everybody's a WWE guy.
Yeah.
Everybody, if you're good, if you're really good in the business, the odds are you've worked there.
Yeah.
Now you're bringing in Bray. Now let's say you bring in Bray. Okay, fine. There's a fit with the Dark Order. You could do something with that. So that's not necessarily, he could be in his own little thing there.
Mm.
But Adam Cole, where do you position him, right? Like, we would love to see a program with Bryan and Punk and Omega. I mean, these are great stories, but what happens to a guy like Andrade now?
Right.
Neville.
Yeah. Pac. Yeah.
Pac. They have to be very careful how they balance these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be telling. The next couple months is going to be extremely telling on how AEW continues to grow and how they focus and how they reshuffle the deck. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Would you like to see Adam Cole?
I already have that in mind. And I also I'm going to preface this by saying, like, if this is the case with so much talent, Rampage needs to be 2 hours. Just to have more people on the card.
I think Rampage on a Friday can't be 2 hours at 10 o'clock.
Right. That's a little tough.
Yeah.
I like the hour slot. But if there was this influx of talent, like you said, you don't want people to get lost in the shuffle.
But, do you say, like, you know what? Adam Cole's going to be on Rampage. He'll fill one main event a week.
Mm-hmm.
And Daniel Bryan will do the main event a week. CM Punk will wrestle on there. Kenny Omega will wrestle on there.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is 3 matches on that show. And you got a banging show if you could figure that out.
Oh yeah, 100%. And like it's a rotating show, which is cool, you know? You have Dark also. I think Adam Cole I would like to see him in AEW, to be honest with you.
You would? Okay.
I think kayfabe BTE style, he needs to be resurrected first since they murdered him.
Yeah.
I think he joins the Elite, keep him with that crew for a while,
and then
turns on Kenny or turns on the Bucks or turns on whoever,
Okay.
I think that would be the way to go.
Listen, Bobby Fish is a free agent. Is going to be a free agent soon.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing that Kyle O'Reilly and Roddy are the last two?
Really nuts, man. I think they have big plans for Kyle O'Reilly.
They like him.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. So we'll see what happens. But listen, as far as Adam Cole goes, his contract is ending in less than 24 hours at this point.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, man. Either he shows up on SmackDown or he shows up on Raw or he's on Dynamite. I mean, this is a very cool moment. And I hope nothing but the best for this guy. Absolutely. He's young, he's super talented, and he's done an unbelievable job, and he really did tremendous work in NXT for 4 years.
Absolutely.
So I hope nothing but the best for him.
You never know. Like, didn't Nakamura sign a contract extension also?
Nakamura did, yeah.
Yeah.
But Nakamura's so happy.
Yeah, it's very interesting, like you would think, like, because he's one of those guys where people are like, you got to go back to Japan, you got to do this and that.
At the end of the day,
listen,
here's how I'm not gonna say this is Nakamura, right? But you've clawed and scraped your whole life.
Yeah.
You've wrestled, your ass off your whole life. You have injuries. You wrestled in front of 500 people. You've wrestled in front of 50,000 people.
Yeah.
You're now at the end of your career, right? Near the end.
Mhm.
Not saying it's ending, but you're approaching that moment. You got only, you don't have 20 years left in your career. Maybe you got 7 years.
Yeah.
You're in the point that you want to make the most money possible and do the least amount of work.
Right.
You want to create that security for when you no longer could do this, you can live off that money. And in Nakamura's case, he is being paid very well to do a fraction of what he was doing before. And he's extremely happy. Why would you not want that opportunity? Why wouldn't you take that? Listen, I love wrestling, but if I was in his scenario, I probably would stay in that company too.
Yeah.
You know, if I have something I still want to prove, and I feel like I can't do that in WWE, guess what? Then I'll leave. But he's comfortable. He's happy. His friends are there. His family's in Florida.
Absolutely. And it's also got to be a comfort to know that if he does decide to leave, he can go anywhere and still
do
be
it.
on top.
Yep.
You know? Very fascinating stuff, too. Like the Adam Cole, I think, has like a meet and greet for Mattel or something.
Today. Yeah, today. And I think that's his last commitment with them.
Which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people are going to ask him where he's going.
I'm sure everybody's going to ask him all day, every day. Pat McAfee tested positive for COVID. He had 104.5 fever last night.
Thank you.
Apparently the fever's dropped, but I think people need to understand how dangerous levels of fever that is.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Like anything over like a 104, like I hit a 103 whenever I'm super sick.
Mm-hmm.
A 104 is like you need to go to the hospital. It's getting a little dangerous now.
You think he was on the strip?
I think he was on the strip, and I don't think he has that. He has COVID. I think he has something else. Whatever those mutants had on that strip.
It was that dude.
Wish him well.
It was that dude who was looking for Joel.
Adam,
Pat McAfee.
They also announced Money in the Bank pay-per-view July 4th weekend. It's going to be July 3rd.
Very cool.
In Vegas at Raiders Stadium, which is going to be interesting, and also Atlanta pay-per-view. That New Year's Day pay-per-view is now called Day One.
Mm-hmm.
Rich, did you hear the Nikon interview with Ariel Helwani? Because I have yet to hear the whole thing.
I read some of the transcript.
Okay, very telling, huh?
Yeah, very, very telling. Like you can tell, like this guy is like a no nonsense, like corporate guy, like through and through. You know. And listen, like he gave some good answers and explained a lot of stuff to people who are wondering, you know. And it's also kind of funny how he's sort of becoming like a weird wrestling celebrity too.
He is, yeah.
You know.
I think he's enjoying it a little bit.
You think you were going to see him on camera?
I would say you're going to see Nikon on camera.
Yeah, okay.
At one point, you're going to see him. They're going to do something with him. Full Sail partnership has ended. They have not been there since the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, WWE built a state-of-the-art training facility with production.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they need Full Sail anymore?
Yeah.
And they're scaling back on NXT. So why would they need Full Sail anymore?
So this new stuff, the NXT stuff going forward, I think is going to be fascinating.
Yes, very.
So I do feel like there's going to be such a concentration on dudes like Ridge Holland.
Yeah.
You know, like these are the guys that we want. Perfect example.
Gargano's going to be the top heel.
Which is great.
Yeah.
You know, Dexter Lumis, another guy probably that they want these guys to look like this, you know. It's fascinating too because do you consider NXT pro wrestling or do you consider it a crossover between pro wrestling and sports entertainment?
I don't know what it is anymore.
Okay.
I always considered a professional wrestling show, and then they needed it to be that because they were really gravitating towards that ROH and like the indie fan.
Yeah.
But you know, first of all, the independents are, other than GCW, they're pretty stalled right now. They're pretty stalled. So I would say they are an in-between. They become an in-between now. By the way, talking about independent wrestling, Catalyst Wrestling is back in Jersey City. Little shout out to my guys over at Catalyst Wrestling. As you guys know, I work closely with these guys, and I'm an advisor. Don't miss the combination of TV and iPay-per-view tapings live at from Cathedral Arts Live in Jersey City in New Jersey with 4 championship matches on the line, including Homicide Homicide is going to be on the card.
Awesome.
He's going to be fighting. He's going to be in a match for the Sapphire Television Championship and a whole large. It's a tremendous show. Definitely recommend you guys check it out. It's 39 Erie Street in Jersey City, New Jersey. Doors open at 7, September 17th. Tickets $25 to $30. You get your tickets at tinyurl.com/stealthisshow. tinyurl.com/stealthisshow. Check it out. Also, all fans must be masked and present proof of vaccination upon entering the building. So a little shout out if you want to see independent wrestling here in the Northeast. Check them out. Catalyst Wrestling live from Jersey City, September 17th.
Nice.
So, NXT, yeah, it's a hybrid now. You know, they're trying to do something a little different. The stories, the positioning is different. I don't think they're gonna have access to guys like a Nakamura or a Gargano like they did previously. So they're gonna build a lot of homegrown talent. A lot of athletes are gonna come there and start training.
Yeah.
Which we'll see what happens.
Well, that's what they want, right? They want to build guys from the ground up and teach them charisma and teach them wrestling.
Yeah.
And to see if they could do it, right?
Yeah. So they are redoing the set. And that was the reason why they taped 3 weeks worth of NXT, so they have some time to tear the whole thing apart and put it together. There's going to be more lighting to make it look much brighter. Some criticism that I've had of the NXT setup for a long time, that it's very dark. And when you're going up against, at the time that we're going up against AEW, and AEW is all bright and colorful, it kind of looked different. Didn't look great.
Yeah.
And I think now that they're kind of realizing that they need to position this as like a mainstream product.
I also do think that they're going to for some reason, I have this weird feeling that they're going to somehow work in another Tough Enough.
Oh God. You know what? I think so too.
Yeah. Like just as like a segment, like this is your like how they've been doing like the breakout stuff. I think this is going to lead up to and next on NXT Tough Enough, you're going to see like their new recruits.
Yeah.
It's
possible. They're going to try a lot of new stuff over there. Hey, I want to also remind everyone, we're going to be live in Chicago. We're going to be at All Out. I think there's going to be a whole crew of us from GFQ Network and, of course, Mattman, and, of course, F4W and Wrestling Observer. Their community is going to be there. We're going to do a bunch of shows. We're live, pal, from Chicago. Mattman live from Chicago. There's going to be a Q&A session with Dave and Bryan and everybody over there. A lot of stuff going on. Sunday's the pay-per-view. So when you see us in Chicago, say hello. Obviously.
Please, a lot of people are going to be at Chicago. Please stop by and say hi. I put it out yesterday that you got to sign up for a high five.
Yeah, we're sign up for a high five from Rich.
Sign up for a high five. I'll give you a beautiful high five.
Dark Side of the Ring Season 3 resumes September 16th, and I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
Some of the episodes are going to be The Plane Ride from Hell, the infamous trip in 2002 where it caused Scott Hall to get fired and Nature Boy Ric Flair to be sued. Chris Kanyon, the life of Chris Kanyon. And, I have to tell you, I don't think I've mentioned this a lot, but I was in touch with Chris Kanyon near the end of his life.
Oh, wow.
And I would talk to him regularly. He discovered my show on Stickam when I was doing the Andrew Zarian show.
Oh, wow.
And he would come in the chat room because we were from Queens, and I believe he's from Sunnyside. So he would come in and we would text all the time, and he told me, and I would love to tell this to the producers of that show. I don't know if he told anybody else this or this is going to be in. He said he had a blockbuster. He had some groundbreaking information on WWE, and that he was going to release to the world.
Interesting.
Okay, this is what he told me. I mean, this is probably 2000. When did he pass away? 2010.
I want to say earlier.
No, it has to be 2010. I did Cray Canyon, not Chris Canyon.
2010, April 2nd, 2010.
April 2nd, 2010. Yeah, I was going to say it was May because he was supposed to come on my show late February, mid-Feb, something like that. And I was like, hey, because I think he was in New York. I was like, I'll send a car. Come on in.
Oh, wow.
And, obviously everything that happened, but I'd love to know, like, what the story with that was. Like,
yeah.
What did he have? Oh, what was it?
Fascinating guy, too. He had a huge hand in the Young Bucks' early career.
Did he?
Also, yeah. I wonder if they're going to talk about that on Dark Side of the Ring.
Really
also.
talented guy.
Yeah.
Different, right guy at the wrong time. You know, you would have been a big star any other time period. They're doing one on FMW. Johnny K9.
Super excited for the FMW.
Me too.
one.
Johnny K9, Luna Vachon, XPW, and the steroid trial.
Wow.
So this is a big season for Dark Side of the Ring when they
Wow.
resume September 16th.
Yeah.
What else do we have, Rich?
Let's see here. We had TakeOver the other day. I feel like it's awesome. Samoa Joe beat Karrion Kross to win the championship. This was Karrion Kross's like swan song.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to go into like the Karrion Kross thing.
Yeah.
On Monday. So Karrion Kross came out dressed like a D&D character kind of, you know, like a kind of swamp gladiator or whatever.
He was in the Thunderdome. Vince loves the Thunderdome.
With the red mask and like this Martian Manhunter doohickey on his chest. And people were saying, why? Why would they do that to this guy? He already had an entrance. He had his wife.
So
he was a spooky guy. Andrew, why?
I spoke to somebody there, and they're like, listen, dude, everything has to be marketable.
Yeah.
You know, they're selling merch, they're selling toys, they're selling a whole bunch of stuff. They need their and listen, we've seen it. Drew McIntyre has a fucking sword now he comes out with.
Which they were selling for $30 a pop, right? Or something like that.
I didn't see. Were they selling
No,
it?
they were selling the Lily dolls.
The Lily dolls, okay. So the Lily dolls sold out. $30 a pop.
Yeah.
Drew has a sword. Nikki has the superhero gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
This one has a ridiculous S&M gear. So
yeah,
everybody has to sell something. You know?
Which is WWE's old school mentality.
Which is their old school mentality. By the way, when I say everybody, you're going to say, well, where's Edge's outfit? Listen, some of these guys have transcended into top level guys, and they don't need. Brock Lesnar doesn't need a sword.
Orton,
I don't think.
yeah.
By the way, I don't think Drew McIntyre needs a sword. But this is how they're seeing it. This is how they're positioning it.
Orton.
What does Orton have? Nothing.
Orton has nothing.
Tattoos.
AJ
Matt
Styles,
Riddle has the freaking scooter.
He's got the scooter. He's got the hat. He's got the flip flops. AJ's got the gloves that they can sell.
They all have something that they're selling.
Yeah.
And listen, do I feel like this is an improvement on the Karrion Kross character? No. I don't think it's an improvement.
Yeah.
And when it was said to me, like when this guy said it to me, they're like, it was almost like, how else are we going to sell these guys?
Which
like,
is
how
nuts.
how am I going to sell toys?
Right.
Like, it was almost like that's like the feeling. Like, oh, okay, so you're going to buy this toy of this guy with just like black trunks? And then everyone's like, Steve Austin. I'm like, yeah, Steve Austin, but it's a different era again.
Yeah,
different mindset, different philosophy.
Oh, 100%. And you know what? I think there's a difference between doing it right, and I'm going to use New Day as that example. Where New Day comes out with a different, they did like their Power Rangers thing.
Yeah.
When they did, I think they did Mortal Kombat not too long ago. They did Dragon Ball. Now they're doing NWO. They're doing Wolfpack.
They're doing Wolfpack
style,
now. So, but here's the thing, right? Like
Yeah.
Barry Darsow, right?
Sure.
Barry Darsow was Crusher Khrushchev.
Uh-huh.
All right. In NWA, he was a Russian. He was part of that whole anti-Russian thing that we saw in wrestling in the 80s. Yeah. This guy comes over to WWE, and what do? They make him part of Demolition. They put him in
straight up S&M gear.
Straight up S&M gear, and nobody bats an eye.
No,
not one person. We look at Demolition with like, oh man, Demolition. By the way, you know what else did it? Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
Road Warriors, same exact thing, same gimmick, same type of concept. We've seen this before. Why does it look stupid in this scenario? Because this guy was already presented on TV.
Exactly.
We already know what he's capable of. Crusher Khrushchev doesn't exist in the WWF's universe in 1988.
Right.
It's not a thing, really, or 1989, whatever year it was. He wasn't recognized to the fans, and now you see this guy, 1987. You see this dude show up that you already know and you like, right? He's a mega star in NXT, and now he's in, the effed up suspenders and a crazy ass mask.
You know what? I feel like somebody should have stepped up and been like, "Yo, let's just go full gladiator with this guy."
But what would have happened? Here's the thing, right? And listen, he very well. Oh, they did have the swords for sale.
$20.
New York City, NYC Demon Diva was saying, yeah, there you go. When They had a blow up Drew sword that had LED lights.
Mhm.
Fantastic. If you're carrying Cross, right? Like maybe you're into this. I don't know. Maybe you're into the mask and everything. And I don't want to knock the dude at all because he's super hyper talented, and I want this guy to become a mega star. Do you feel comfortable saying like, guys, this is effing ridiculous. I'm not putting this ridiculous thing on. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Or do you say like, I'm going to be a team player and I'm doing this?
I think at his point in his career, it's probably I'm going to be a team player. But also, again, from my perspective, it would have been cool if somebody was like, listen, this is okay. It should be this. And, you get like big shoulder pad, gladiator helmet, like real cool looking stuff. It would be a different story, right? You want him to look gnarly and not like they rushed it together.
But my God, what a great act, him and Scarlett, right? They had the entrance. They had the whole thing going.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that whole entrance was fantastic. The whole gimmick was fantastic. So they took something that worked and they modified it into this wacky gladiator gear. And, listen, man, Undertaker was a freaking zombie cowboy. Kane was a freaking undead.
Right.
Bray was a bonkers, cartoon character.
Yeah.
Balor comes out with crazy ass dreads and he looks like a predator.
Yeah.
WWE does this all the time, but it's interesting that how come, when these things happen, when Balor comes up dressed like that, it's not considered ridiculous.
It's considered special.
It's considered special.
Right.
But this dude doing it looked so dinky.
I think because you could feel that he wasn't into it.
I don't know, man. I felt something. I don't know. It was just, I don't know, man. We'll see.
It's interesting how you say, like, it depends on the person, what they could do with him. Like, Samoa Joe's a good example. He already looks like an action figure. So they don't need anything. Comes out with the towel and everything.
I think some guys are so established, they say no.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be easily as knowing your star power and saying, no, F this. You think Seth Rollins is going to say yes to something like that, or Roman Reigns?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You hand Roman Reigns that?
He's got the glove, though.
He does have that glove,
Yeah.
that gold glove.
That gold glove, I think that sells for a lot. Seth has like the wacky jackets and all that.
But that's him. That's him doing it.
Yeah. What do you if Adam Cole stays and goes on the main roster? What do you think?
A butler.
He's gonna have a butler.
Yeah, he's gonna be the butler.
He's gonna be the butler, Adam Cole.
The butler, Adam Cole.
Instead of Bebe, he's gonna go butt.
Oh man, I don't know.
Nakamura is a good example too because they gave him the crown and a guitarist.
But he's done it. Right. He's done the crown.
Yeah.
Right. The guitarist. Okay, that's fine. He's still himself.
But that's a good 2-pack action figure right there. Like Boogs and Nakamura in a 2-pack. Like all this stuff sells. Like anytime you get new ring gear, anytime you get new things, you have a different action figure. I think there's like 47 Finn Balor's and like a million New Days out there because they keep updating their gear. It's good for these guys too on the back end with the money. Yeah. Where do you want to go from here?
Let's see. What do we have?
Well, we talked about Karrion Kross's marketable new gear. It looks like Alexa Bliss is going to be Charlotte's next opponent.
Alexa Bliss is Charlotte's next opponent. Okay, so we're going to do some wacky, spooky stuff here. All right. Pete Dunne's contract.
Oh, interesting.
Is also up.
You think they're just going to feed everybody to Samoa Joe on their way out of the company?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, people within that company are very blah right now within NXT.
Okay.
Very deflated.
Very lackluster.
That was a word that was used. A lot of them feel deflated.
Okay.
So can somebody find out who's been part of developmental for the longest right now? Because there's some of those guys that have been there forever, sitting in limbo.
I know Cesar Bononi's not there anymore.
I don't know who it is right
There's
now.
definitely a few people that have been there for like ages. And like Kurt Stallion, maybe?
Yeah.
Or is he still with the company?
I don't know who's been there the longest. We'll find out. Someone will probably have it.
Yeah.
Dynamite Orange Cassidy began the show. First of all, I had some issues with the show.
Okay,
all right?
shoot.
I thought for a big CM Punk show, they really didn't do a lot of wrestling. Like they didn't. I would have done it a little different.
Okay.
So you started off the show with Orange Cassidy defeating Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy's face exploded in this match.
Oh, dude.
Which is not what you want to see in the first match.
Yeah.
So pretty much Orange Cassidy splashed. Did a what was it? He did a crossbody. Yeah, it was a crossbody, but he landed on his head, and all I could think was, "Oh my God, Rebby's going to murder this guy."
Oh my God, yeah.
All I kept thinking was, "Oh, what is Rebby going to write now?" You know, probably Orange Cassidy was fearing his life, not because of Matt, because of Rebby. They continued the match, and I think they pushed it up a gear when the blood happened, like adrenaline started pumping, and it was a fun match, you know. Chris Jericho came out for the next segment, called out MJF for a third match. If MJF wins, Jericho will never wrestle again in AEW.
Jericho back to WWE for his Hall of Fame.
What do you think of this? That they're doing this another time?
I'm fine with it. I think this is gonna be like another good match, man. They work well together, dude.
They do work great together.
But where do you see this going? Do you see Jericho taking time off?
I don't know. You know, he's doing the Jericho Cruise in October, and he has like another year and a half on his contract, or a year on his contract with them. So I don't see him leaving.
Maybe going on tour with Fozzy or something.
I don't know. I found it weird that they did this. I found this weird that they did this so many times.
Yeah.
You know?
Lucha Brothers beat the Varsity Blondes. You were going nuts about how great Griff Garrison and Pillman was yesterday.
You know what? Griff Garrison is a star in the making.
Absolutely.
He's green, but my God, he has all the looks. And I wrote, has WWE seen him?
Right. Classic babyface. Jamie Hayter beat Red Velvet. And then CM Punk promo with Tony Schiavone, which I thought was very cool.
CM Punk promo with Tony Schiavone. Crowd went nuts for him, obviously. What did you make of it? What did you think?
I popped like a big fanboy when the crowd was doing the yes chant and he did the Daniel Bryan tease. You know, that's somebody else's shtick. Just wait for it or whatever, right? Whatever he said. Very cool. Also, did you see the thing with his sneakers?
Yeah, what did he write on them on Friday?
On one, he had AC. People think it's Adam Cole.
Okay.
On I think yesterday he had BW, which people I'm assuming thinks is Bray Wyatt.
He had BW on.
Yeah. And that dude's been in the crowd.
It's AC for AC Slater.
Uh-huh.
And it's BW for Barry Windham. All right?
That'd be great.
That's what it is. So during it, let's talk about the Daniel Bryan tease. So at one point, the crowd starts chanting yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, whoa, guys. That's someone else's shtick.
Yeah.
You got to hang on a little longer for this.
Right.
And, you know, everybody went nuts, obviously teasing the Bryan Danielson to AEW story, which, you know, 99.9% sure this is happening. And, you know, you want to do it at a mega show, you do it at Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Because the debut should be on Dynamite because Rampage got one debut. You got to do this next one there. And you know what, man? Just the matches alone to think about.
Oh, my God. It gives you a headache.
It really gives you a headache thinking about it because it just plug and play everybody.
It's
everybody
versus everybody at this point.
Like you Christian out of all the people kind of doesn't fit in the mix now.
But
you know
it's
what
cool,
I mean?
though. It's cool that Christian's there.
It is cool that Christian's there, and I think the purpose of Christian is to elevate younger guys, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
That's the whole point of him, and he still could go at 47 years old and might as well do it. But you are going to get, and I want you to think about this bonkers possibility.
Yeah.
You are possibly going to get a CM Punk Daniel Bryan versus Kenny Omega triple threat match, right? That's a possibility. You're going to get Omega and Punk. You're going to get Omega and Bryan. You're going to get Bryan and Punk done the right way.
Oh my God!
Right?
Yeah.
Finally, when Hangman and Bryan, Hangman and Punk.
It's gonna be nuts.
I mean, the combinations are gonna be tremendous. Now they're gonna have to be very careful with Hangman now, right? They're gonna have to position this dude back in a major spot, and he has to go strong when he's back.
He's got to be booked super strong.
So,
can I pop you real quick? All right, we're at All Out.
Yeah,
right.
We are going to be at All Out.
We see Moxley versus Tanahashi.
We're not getting that.
right?
We're not getting that.
Are you? Do you think so?
Yeah, they announced it. They announced it's going to be Kojima.
I think it's gonna be
You think it's going to be a
little
swerve?
swervy swerve.
Okay.
Tanahashi versus Mox, right? You ready?
Yeah.
Tanahashi beats Mox. Ha ha ha! Celebrates in the ring. The final countdown plays.
Okay.
Daniel Bryan shows up,
At all out, you think?
points to Tanahashi, and just walks to the back.
That's how you're doing it.
That's how you do it.
See, I'm thinking that you're gonna have it's gonna be Kojima and Tanahashi's gonna come out at the end and point at Moxley and then setting up their U.S. title match for New Japan Strong or wherever the hell they do it.
Okay.
That's how I see it playing out. But we'll see what happens. John Moxley, obviously, there was a Moxley promo saying that nobody responded except for one person. At All Out, it's Kojima.
Yeah.
Is it a letdown? I don't know.
I think that's gonna be fine.
I think it's going to be a fine match. By the way, Moxley, thick
Yeah.
boy. Thick boy Moxley. Love it. He's gotten big.
Yeah.
Putting on that dad bod weight, huh?
I want to see. I want to.
Thick! Ah!
What happened?
What happened? Why wasn't he thick for me?
I do want to.
You think Vince said that? I think he did. He
Absolutely.
turned to Hunter and said that at dinner.
Absolutely.
It was Sunday in Connecticut. They're all having a family dinner.
Muscles.
Randomly, they're just sitting by the pool. Doesn't even say who he's talking about. Just looks at Hunter and goes, "Why wasn't he thick for me?"
I don't know, Dad.
I don't know, Dad.
I think Mox versus Kojima would be a lot of fun because Kojima's a wacky dude.
Yeah. Edge also. I'm saying Edge. Jesus. There was a Christian face to face with Kenny Omega
That was
and Don
fun.
Callis.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, a lot of great references, right? That he was always second.
Oh yeah.
And he turned to him and goes, "You think you know me? You
So
think
good.
you know me?" Which was great,
So
right?
good.
Here's the thing.
Hmm.
Don Callis, if those little things in life take you in very different paths, right? I think we've learned this. This man potentially could have been the higher power in WWE.
Yes.
In that higher power angle.
Yes.
The
100%.
trajectory of this man's life would have shifted into a whole different area at that point, where we would have never gotten Cyrus the Virus on commentary. Maybe he would have stayed in the business because he left. Remember, nobody talked about Don Callis for years until it was Chris Jericho that brought him into New Japan as a color commentator.
Right.
And this guy ended up becoming unbelievable on color commentary. So that man's career changed in a blink of an eye over the last couple of years. And it would have been so different if he, stayed in WWE.
So fascinating. Also,
Very.
I do like how Don Callis came out like right out of the gate after, because he was following Punk. He immediately followed Punk's promo, and that crowd was super hot. And he stepped up his insaneness.
Oh yeah,
big time.
Oh yeah, big time.
I also do like the Carney shit.
I love it. I love that shit. Yeah. You want to do questions?
Let's go into questions. Let's plug that Patreon real quick because Patreon, YouTube perks and updates. Patreon.com/MattManPodcast. We're revamping it. If you go on YouTube, you can go to our channel and click join. You get exclusive emojis and member badges. We got 2 new tiers live on Patreon starting at $2. We're going to have new content and posts coming daily. We got a lot of stuff to upload from Vegas that's going to be on there. We have a lot of new stuff that is on there from the weekend with the RVD video, blogs, pictures. With premium membership on YouTube, you'll get some of the same perks from Patreon, live emojis, and check out our shirts, man. MattmanShop.myspreadshop.com. We got to do something about that link.
Yeah. We need a better link.
And we're also on Linktree/MattmanPodcast for all the Mattman links. We're having our Chicago shirts coming out this week. I'm very excited for these. Very excited to go to the show next week. It's going to be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. We're going to be in Chicago.
I'm going to be on the road next week. So next Thursday, I can do a remote from wherever I am since I'm bringing my stuff with me.
Cool. Awesome.
All right. You ready for the super chats?
Q&A time, guys. Submit your questions in the chat room. We got a bunch of super chats. If you want your question guaranteed to be answered, submit a super chat with it. $1, $2, $3, $5, $20, whatever the hell you want to fund us.
All right. We got Chops owns $4.99. Thank you. AC on Punk sneakers last week. BW on them this week. Can't wait for you guys to get into that. A lot of fun teases. Thanks. We did get into it. Do you think BW stands for Bryan Danielson?
Bryan Danielson, yeah.
All right. $5 from Chris. How big a deal is it? How big a deal is Adam Cole's Twitch account? He said on his stream he's never leaving it, but main roster won't allow it in WWE.
He said he's not going to do it. He said he's not giving up the Twitch channel.
It just seems AEW is so much more enticing if there is talks with him. I'll let him do whatever he wants.
Maybe not. Maybe this is one of those things where we're not going to make a freaking exception.
Interesting.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to start bending the knee.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to continue with our policy. Xavier Woods could do a Twitch channel. Who else does it? AJ? No, AJ can't do it anymore.
Well, isn't Xavier's also partially WWE?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan Martin's $4.99. Do you notice the Easter egg on Punk sneakers? Yes, he had BW written on it for Brandon Weinson.
Brandon Weinson.
Also, odds on Cole staying since he's advertised for the Mattel event.
We'll find out.
Interesting. We're gonna find out in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you got to have those graphics ready to go.
By the way, I'm getting message right now.
Okay.
So I do want to say this. I made a comment about the roster being one-sided,
Mm-hmm.
right? I could tell you that USA is not thrilled that Becky and Brock are on the SmackDown side, and that neither one of them were on Monday night.
Interesting.
Because with John Cena being on the SmackDown side, he did both shows.
Right.
So there was some issues with that, but with the draft coming at the end of September, or actually beginning of October, they've kind of been told, like, hey, listen, this is just temporary. This is temporary. We're going to shuffle the deck here.
Okay.
The stars are going to get shifted around, so don't worry. But, it's quite evident that SmackDown's the main thing now. It's the main product show.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they need to go 2 hours on SmackDown, on Raw. I'm telling you. It's that once you make. I know that they can't. I know that they won't, and I know that they can't. But that 3 hours ruins me every Monday.
It's interesting. You would think that something would be done about that, but
Too much money.
it's a lot of money. Like, you would think that USA would turn around and be like, "Listen, we're scaling you back on Monday. Just make it a better show. Just make it a tighter show. We need Brock Lesnar. We need Roman Reigns."
No, because USA is thinking about ad revenue. You can
Right,
sell
right.
more ads. Think about it. The ratings are not 5 million views.
Right.
That your ad rate is super high.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got a lower buy-in rate, ad buy, and now you got to spread it. You have more opportunities over 3 hours to make up the money.
There is a lot of pizza commercials on Raw.
Tons of pizza, a lot of fast food.
A lot of fast food. Is a question from Boone. Ask Mattman, Andrew, can Rich twerk on you while you do the podcast?
That's how we're going to do the show from now on.
That's what we're going to do. My initial plan for the Rob Van Dam interview was Andrew sitting on my lap the whole time. And we do have a picture of that on our Twitter accounts.
Yeah.
From Dan Knightley, what would you rather see? Lesnar versus Reigns or Lesnar, Reigns, and Heyman joining forces? They could feud with Edge and Balor.
I think the big story's in that match with Heyman. I mean, we're going to get Heyman on a pole, right? Is that how this ends, or a shark cage?
Shark cage.
I'm going to, SmackDown, I tune in anyway, but, there's never, must see, I got to, tune in for this.
Yeah.
I got to tune in for this. I want to see what the hell they do with this, because Becky and Brock are both on SmackDown this week.
I'm pretty fascinated by this, too. We got a super chat from Joel Wood, $9.99. Thanks, man.
Thank you, dude.
Do you think Cole doing the Mattel appearance and him and Nakamura posting the same picture of themselves on Instagram is any indication that he's staying and possibly joining SmackDown?
I didn't see the photo. Listen, man, I think it's very possible. I think a lot of people are getting excited that he's going to AEW, but for anybody that's changed jobs to go to a similar job, there's a lot of things that come into play here.
Yeah.
4 years of being somewhere, but WWE's a whole different beast. So
you never know.
Yeah.
We got Charles LePage. Who will be the next to feud with CM Punk? I say MJF. What do you think?
He said who did he mention? He mentioned Jungle Boy. He mentioned maybe it's Sting.
He mentioned a lot of people in. He had an interview press conference, I think, with Tony Khan, and I do believe he mentioned a lot of the younger guys, and then he mentioned Moxley and Jericho also.
Mm.
Which I feel like that's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, I mean, eventually, yeah.
Because of all the Shield stuff that happened in 2014,
With
they
him
already
and Mox,
know.
yeah, him and Mox definitely has to happen. Him and
Yeah.
Christian is going to probably happen. He's probably going to team up with some of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, you're going to see a lot of this back and forth happen.
Now let me ask you.
Yeah.
Do you think Punk doesn't need a stable like every other person?
No, definitely doesn't need a stable.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep him a loner.
A lot of stables.
A lot of stables, a lot of alliances. I would keep him by himself.
Sal Rico, does WWE working with Logan Paul and Mr. Beast highlight the demographic they're really going for?
It highlights their new shift.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fact that they were at Rolling Loud says a lot. They are trying to become more youthful and more connected to pop culture, which you could see with the Cardi B. Cardi B was supposed to be the host.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, she's pregnant. And then Megan Thee Stallion that we're going to get for the show. So they are trying to cater to a whole different demographic. And it's not older white men. 55-year-old white men that top their key demo isn't going to create ad revenue for them. I'm so sorry.
Does our friend Bob know who Cardi B is?
Huh.
Oh, my name's Cardi B. That's my Cardi B impression.
That's a terrible Cardi B.
I did it for my wife, and she goes, "That was a Penny Marshall impression." From Suprit, any news on Mr. Beast working with John Cena at Mania?
I have no idea.
From Felsley Jr., according to Wikipedia, AEW's male-female roster total 120 members. Is there no concern, considering the number of pickups rumored on the way, that AEW is creating a lost in the shuffle issue?
It is something to be concerned with, but think about how many shows they have now.
Yeah.
They have 4 separate shows. So, you know, the Evolution and Dark feature a lot of the younger talent that you don't see on Dynamite. And then you're going to eventually pick and choose. I mean, this is the plan, right? They don't have a developmental, but they have this. So they're going to be able to pick and move people. And by the way, you know, before the whole thing happened with the Acclaimed, these guys were picked from Dark and Elevation,
right,
to come over, and they did a great job.
They are lengthy shows.
Huh?
They are lengthy shows.
They are very, very long shows. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think it's too early to. I do feel concerned with large rosters that some people are not going to get their fair share. Like a guy like Joey Janela, part of that original crop of AEW talent. You know, he's kind of gotten pushed to the side. So, you know. Sometimes maybe they need to start working a little bit differently and give them a couple of years to get to where they need to be. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We got another couple of super chats here.
Nice.
Ryan Martin's $4.99. Thank you, Ryan. What are your thoughts on the AEW ending? I would have never had Arn block the black mask. I would have had black lay out everyone. I think the ending fell flat. In my opinion.
I actually like the block from Arn because you're like,
veteran.
oh crap.
Yeah.
Arn would that's his experience as a veteran.
Exactly.
And I got him.
Just block it.
I caught him, but he did not expect a low blow.
Right.
Because he did not anticipate him to be, you know, this heinous, violent man that's going to low blow him.
What do you think? Top heel for the company?
He's getting there, man. He's something special.
It's awesome. And he looks bigger too. Like a lot of these guys are getting
getting bigger.
They're getting big. I think Billy Gunn's
workout.
Billy Gunn's like teaching everybody how to work out properly.
Just spitting on them and they just get jacked. That's what happens. Billy Gunn, 57 years old, by the way.
Billy Gunn has the genes of like an immortal man.
He's 57 years old.
I know, it's nuts.
And nobody is looking at him on TV and saying like, oh, it's so terrible. This old guy is wrestling.
It's Billy Gunn, dude.
Billy Gunn.
7 feet tall.
18 feet tall.
18 feet tall.
560 pounds. All muscle.
Billy Gunn is like the Bill Bradsky of AEW.
Unbelievable.
Everybody just tells folks.
We got another one. Joel Wood. $4.99.
Joel Wood, thank you again. Billy Corgan said it would be a lot of fun if WWE participated in the Forbidden Door. Do you ever see that happening in our lifetime?
I don't see it.
I don't see it, but I want to say maybe.
Not anymore.
Maybe, and the big maybe is New Day.
Big maybe is New Day.
New Day versus Kenny and the Bucks.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Maybe.
But as far as like Roman, nah. Roman ain't showing up anywhere.
No.
Yeah, it's you never know. It's not happening. Let's see what else we got here. Money in the Bank is July 3rd, 2022. This is from Balor Club Guys podcast. Money in the Bank, July 3rd, 2022 in Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. Are you guys going?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. There's no way I'm traveling July 4th weekend.
Nope.
By the way, we're traveling Labor Day weekend, and I had forgotten this pay-per-view's on Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
If I had known when I freaked out, I was like, we got to go, I probably would have not booked it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, did you book your flights?
I did.
Okay.
Thank God.
All right.
I waited very long.
Yeah. We're driving in, man. Like, I'm excited about that drive. Mr. Gonzo was telling me about all the hot spots yesterday. I am Brozo.
Of terror cells?
Where's Jake Hager? I have a mission. Where's Jake Hager?
I think he's back. He's coming back in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I just think that he took some time off.
This is from, I hope I pronounced your name right, buddy. This is from Shubhansh Mahawar. Guys, first time on the podcast.
Nice.
When do you guys think AEW will realistically be able to fill a 50,000 seat show?
I got to ask this question, I want to say like 10 times in the last like 2 days.
Yeah.
And I would say maybe 6 months. In 6 months, they could possibly pull it off.
Okay. So next year.
I would say probably 2020, or they could. I would expect them in 2022 to do a much bigger show. Now, if it's going to be 50,000, I don't know, because these attendance numbers. There's a big difference between 15,000 and 40,000. There really is. Yeah. So you're going to have to offer something really astronomical for this to happen. I don't see them being able to do that today. I also don't see them being able to do it with COVID restrictions still in place. With masks and with vaccinations being required in some buildings, I don't see them being able to do it. I think for WWE, 45,000 was a real difficult pull. They announced 51,000, but they barely did 45,000 in that building. And I'm not knocking them. I think it's because of the timing of everything. So if I were to say it, I would say sometime in 2022, possibly after the spring. Okay. I could see it being a real big reality. Sure. But maybe not 50. I'm thinking maybe closer to 35, 40. Okay. I think 50 is that's a big difficult number. Big number. Yeah, big number. And especially in the ticketing business, I think a lot of people don't realize how this works. Majority of the tickets for sellouts are not. So when an event puts let's say the Garden, right? Billy Joel, right? Let's talk about Billy Joel. If you got 18,000, you got 20,000 tickets. Only like 12,000 of them go to the public. Right. The rest are like corporate and season ticket holder holdouts, and then there's a whole bunch that go to the secondhand market already. From the Garden, they just give it to them like tickets. What is it? Hot seats, geek seats, ticket seats,
StubHub, like all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like they get X amount of tickets to resell on the market, and guess what? A lot of times, the venue. Like the event coordinators will hold back and put it on the secondhand market themselves to get more money from the tickets.
It's really bonkers too, especially now that the world is opening up. When you bought those tickets for Arthur Ashe, you paid $80 for really good seats.
Our seats are $1,000 a piece.
The day of, they went up to $400.
Yeah, they're like $900 right now.
Wow, insane.
Yeah, $900.
Nick, this is going to be our last question. This is our last super chat. Nikolai Kreese, $10. Thank you.
Is this our last question for the day?
Yeah, MG Geek's telling us to wrap it up.
Okay.
Should we be concerned with the increase in rematches on AEW, or will things get back to normal booking-wise after All Out? A lack of rematches really sets them apart from WWE.
They're gonna end up having to get caught into that rematch stuff a little bit. Like we've seen it with MJF, right? MJF and Chris Jericho. Yeah. So I think right now, because they have so much going on, that they've been able to prevent that from happening, but I do see them doing it.
Yeah, I mean, but also like there's two arguments to that, where these guys need to get used to working with each other a lot. Yeah. And for a guy like Jericho, it's probably his say. You know, like, you know what? I want to work with him. I want to have a nice long program with him. And then I'll do like my Fozzy tour and I'll come back under a mask. Yeah. And that's it, and missed everybody.
Yeah. It's interesting stuff, man.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, we cannot get to all the questions. We're running out of time here because I got to go in 10 minutes. I got to get on a train. Holy crap. I need to get out of here.
All right.
All right, guys. We'll be back next week. And we're going to be in Chicago on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, flying back Monday. So if you see us in Chicago, say hello. We'll see you all next time, guys. Take care. All right. Thank you, everybody.
That's great.
I got to run out the door. See ya. Sorry, guys.